What is going on, everybody? I'm your host, Zayden. Welcome back to a brand new show. Now, since the 2024 year is coming to an end, not sadly, it is time for me to give you guys the top 5 movies of the year. In my opinion. This in my opinion. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here today. And the interesting part about this video is the first movie on this list is going to get an award, at least on this channel. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. If you guys do enjoy, make sure you guys subscribe, watch the show. It's going to get really, really exciting. Really quick before we actually get into the full show, there are some honorable mentions I want to put on this list. Specifically, Alien Romulus, which I thought was a really, really scary horror movie. The ending monster. Whew, that was something. Carry On, the new Netflix original, I thought was really, really thrilling. It had me on the edge of my seat. The Apprentice, I thought was a really well-made historical drama. And Inside Out 2, a really emotional movie. So, let's get on to the actual show now. Kicking off the number 5 place, I got Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. And I actually was able to get the novelization for this movie, which I'm in the process of reading right now. I'm having a great time doing it, but that's not important. So, Godzilla x Kong, I've always been a really big fan of the MonsterVerse, and when they announced a sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong, you can bet I was very excited. And when I saw this movie for the first time, I saw it in IMAX, blown away. It was so much fun. Like, I cannot describe you guys how much fun I had in the theater. Now, I understand this movie might have set some fans off because it's like, oh, it's just goofy, you know, it's just a bunch of monsters throwing punches. But that's kind of what you want. When you go to see a kaiju movie, you want kaijus to beat the living heck out of each other. That's what you want from a kaiju movie. I understand why it would set some fans off, especially if you see the 2014 Godzilla movie. Like, I fully understand. But this movie was just non-stop fun. Non-stop fun. There were a few moments in the movie where I was like, dang, that really means something to me. So, yeah, this movie, honestly, really had fun with it. I saw it 2 times in theaters as well. Really loved this movie. And, yeah, I'll let you guys know how the novelization goes. Going in next to 4th place, I got Gladiator 2. The sequel to a legendary movie that absolutely no one asked for. I think I speak for a lot of Gladiator fans when I say that movie did not need a sequel. I am a massive fan of the original Gladiator film, but I think I speak for everyone when I say that film didn't need a sequel. And when they announced it, I was very skeptical. But when I actually saw it a few weeks ago, I was like, why was it actually good? The movie, let me just say this. The movie does not live up to the original film, but that's honestly okay because it doesn't need to. In my opinion, I think it works better as its own thing. Well, it's not its own thing, it's a continuation, but I think it works as good as it is. It's an amazing movie about a deeper human experience, and there's a lot of gladiator fun in this movie. I will give it that. There is a lot of gladiator action in this movie. I think, honestly, the fight scenes in this movie are a little bit better than the original because there's a lot more at stake, especially like the flooded Colosseum. There's like a rhino fight, and I think that's what makes this movie more unique. Is like there's a lot more epic action sequences. I mean, in the original Gladiator, yes, 100% the action scenes in that movie are incredible, but this movie ups the game a little bit, at least in my opinion. I don't think the story is as strong as the original. In fact, I think the story does have some flaws, but I think the movie delivers in its story being solid enough and the performances being absolutely incredible. Next up in 3rd place, I got Deadpool and Wolverine. This might come as a shocker to you guys because you guys thought it was going to be number 1 on this list. No, I really, really love Deadpool Wolverine. It was so great to see Hugh Jackman back in the suit, especially on screen with Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. Like, that's just crazy. My number one problem, there's one problem I have with this movie, is that it felt like it was sometimes pushing the cameos. It felt like there were so much references in different cameos. I was like, I don't know. I'm starting to really kind of, like, there's just some things in this movie I didn't necessarily like. But overall, aside from that, it was like the one problem. That everything else I loved. Action sequences, incredible. Story, it's emotional. It can be really goofy, but it's really, really fun. So, of course, I wasn't expecting a stage level masterpiece with Deadpool and Wolverine. I just wanted to have some fun and get a worthy adventure out of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine with Ryan Reynolds. If this is the last time we see both of them, I'd honestly be at peace with it, because the movie does end in a really good way, and there were some parts of the movie also that made me, I wouldn't say cry, but made me a little sad. Like, I'm not going to go into specifics, but I think Deadpool Wolverine is a very, very worthy entry into the Deadpool franchise. In second place, you will have to bow to the king, because Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is in second place. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was incredible. The movie is not only visually incredible, but the performances are out of this world. This movie is amazing. Honestly, my second favorite movie in the rebooted Planet of the Apes franchise. This movie did a very difficult task. This movie was tasked with rebooting the Planet of the Apes franchise 7 years after, what was it? The War of the Planet of the Apes? I forgot that for a minute. So, yes, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes really has a good story. The story, it's incredible. Everything about this movie is honestly just incredible. Everything about the movie is incredible. Literally. I think there's honestly one problem I have with the movie, is that Proximus Caesar is wasted. It feels like they don't focus on the humans that much. I mean, they do, but I feel like there's so much more they could have done with the humans here that they just didn't. So that's personally how I felt. But the movie, regardless, is incredible. Raka was honestly one of my favorite characters in the movie. I really love how Noah is not like Caesar. He's like a completely different character. And I'm really, really, really hoping we get that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes sequel very soon. Okay, everyone. This is the number one spot. My favorite movie of the year goes to none other than The Wild Robot. The Wild Robot was definitely the best movie of the year for one specific reason. I grew up loving the Wild Robot books. Peter Brown cooked up something really special with his trilogy of the Wild Robot books. And when I heard they were going to be adapting this into an animated movie, especially by DreamWorks, you guys can expect I was super excited. When I saw the movie, it is true to the books, which I feel like a lot of book adaptations and a lot of just adaptations in general struggle with, is just respecting the source material. This movie perfectly respects the source material while also delivering some new stakes as well, and a little bit of some new characters. The story, I think I've talked about the story a lot in this video. The story of this movie was hooking. There are so many emotional scenes in the movie that really just hook you. It's about a robot adapting to the wild and learning about motherhood when she's trying to raise this gosling named Brightbill. I can tell you guys, I cried. I cried twice during this movie. I just couldn't. This movie is amazing. Peter Brown in DreamWorks cooked. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining this show for an amazing year in 2024. And congratulations to The Wild Robot for winning the Movie of the Year. We hope you guys had a great 2024, and let us know in the comment section down below, what was your favorite movies of 2024? See you guys in 2025.